Hello and welcome everybody. So today's topic is an introduction to Excel and I am your instructor Divya Thakur. What is MS Excel? MS Excel is a spreadsheet program that was developed by Microsoft and hence this prefix MS which stands for Microsoft. MS Excel is used to organize data into columns and rows and allows one to perform mathematical operations. About this we'll see in just a short moment. The file extension for an Excel file is .xlsx. What we'll see next is the Excel interface and also how to navigate in Excel and how to do data entry and editing in Excel. So let's get started. In your search bar over here, just type in Excel and this app will pop up. Just click on it and it will take you to an interface like this. Click on blank workbook because this is the area you will be working with. So this particular area where there are just columns and rows is known as your working area. This area over here is the ribbons and tabs area. So if I click on file and then click on collapse the ribbon, you can see what collapses. So these are your tabs which are home, insert, page layout, formulas, data, review, view, help, Foxit PDF, and this icon over here which is tell me. So now if I'll bring back the ribbon, so this ribbon is actually a group of these commands which are icons, buttons and also in text format. So now further, these commands are grouped together in these tabs. So one particular tab has related commands. So as you can see, this insert tab has these shapes, smart, screenshot, text box, header and footer, slicer, timeline, and so on. Now page layout. Page layout means basically changing the margins, the orientation of the page, portrait, landscape, the size of this page, and so on. The data tab over here is also very important because it has like from Access you can import your data, from web you can import your data, in the text format you can import your data, you can sort them in ascending or descending order and so on. So in this home tab over here and also in other tabs, you can see that these commands are further grouped and are separated from each other by these vertical lines. So this grouping, these groups over here are related commands that perform a larger task at hand. So suppose this font tab over here performs this function of changing your font, changing the font size, keeping it bold, italic, underline, and so on. Now this over here, this small arrow is known as the dialog launcher. And if you will click, you can get more related commands like border, fill, protection, alignment, number, etc. And you can also add them in this ribbon. So you can customize your ribbon from over here. So you can add what suits you and delete what is not suiting you. So you can customize your ribbon. Now these are also known as command buttons. So if you click on here, these are further grouped and regrouped. So you can change the icon sets, the color scales, data bars, and so on. And also clear rules and define your own new rule for conditional formatting. Now let's move on to our next area, which is this formula bar over here. So as you can see, these are the functions that you can use, and this is your name box. So this is one particular cell which is comprised of one column and one row. So since you are in this cell, A1 is showing up. If you move on here, B1 is showing up. If You are in this cell, so it will show D. It's also highlighting it, D, and it's also highlighting its row, as you can see. Or alternatively, you can also do something like this if you want to move to pth column and the 10th row. Just press enter and you'll be taken over here. So let's see how many rows are there. So just press Ctrl and the downward arrow key. So it takes you to the last cell, which is last row, which is 10,48,576. So this number is your last row. And let's go back by pressing Ctrl and the upward arrow key. So it takes you back. And now let's go on to the last column. So just press Ctrl and the right arrow key. So this is our last column, which is XFD, and it's in Roman form. So this stands for 16,384. So let's go back by pressing Ctrl and left arrow key. And you are here again. So what I'll do, I'll just write down total number of rows. And in this cell, I'm writing, which was 10,48,576. And our total number of columns, which is so let me shift it here. So total number of columns is 16,384. Let's not bold this, but over here. Okay, now you want to know how many total cells are here, because if there are these many rows and these many columns, then how many cells are present in our worksheet we need to find out. For that, let's use our formula bar. So I'll calculate the total number of cells here. So total number of cells in our worksheet over here, and for that I'll just do what? Type an equal to sign. And which cell is this? This is the B1 cell. I have just left clicked here, and then I'll put an asterisk mark, which means multiply, and then click this cell over here. And as you can see, the result will be shown in this B3 cell. So I'll just have to press enter, and you can see there are these many cells present in our worksheet where you will be working. So now, if I want to write a number, suppose 1700, and I want to populate D1, E1, D2, E2, D3 and E3 with the same number, 1700. How can I do this? You can see this flat plus turning into a bold plus. So at that instant, just left click on it and drag it to E, then drag it all the way down. Drag it all the way down, and 1700 will be printed. Now again, wait for the plus over here and drag it to this other side, and 1700 will get written over here in these cells as well. So let's move on how to navigate in our Excel worksheet. Now we come on to, let's talk about how to navigate in Excel. So I'll click on this insert tab and then click on pictures, and I'll be inserting a picture over here. So let it be this ERD diagram. And if I'll right click on this picture and then on this format picture, so a task pane will open up for me. So a task pane is this rectangular tab over here, which lets you perform these functions like of shadow, reflection, glow. So if I'll just do this, so you can introduce shadow, reflections, soft edges, 3D format, 3D rotation, etc. on this picture, as you can see. So the second important thing for navigating an Excel is to learn about this status bar over here. So if I'll click on, suppose, these two cells, I selected, okay, let me select these two cells over here. So you can see in my status bar, it's showing me the average of the selected cells, the count of the selected cells, that is the number of cells that we have selected, and also their sum. It also tells you if there are some accessibility issues in the spreadsheet. So there are none. Okay, so there is one which is missing alternative text. And this is also a task pane. If I click on accessibility, this is also a task pane. So let me close this. Also, this status bar over here lets you zoom in, as you can see, and also zoom out. So 10 to 400% of zoom in and zoom out capability it has. Now let's come to insert and delete options. So if over here, as you can see, this is a cell, this is another cell, this is the third cell. So if I want to introduce a row over here, I'll just go here. As you can see, an arrow is popping up. So let me just zoom in for you guys to see. So there's an arrow. So I'll just right click and then go to this insert option, and a new row is getting inserted for me. Similarly, you can insert a new column. So as you can see, this cell is being highlighted. There is an arrow, just right click and then click on insert. However, this is not inserting new cells, new column for me right now. And in the similar manner, you can delete. So if I'll right click, go to delete, this row will get deleted for me. In addition, you can also delete a particular cell. So if I'll click on here and click on delete, so it will ask me for this options, that is delete the entire row, delete the entire column, or shift cells up, shift cells left, etc. So I'll just say shift cells left. So this got deleted and the cells also got shifted towards the left. If you do not want this result to happen, so you can undo your action using this shortcut, which is Control Z. Also, you can delete a range of cells. So for example, I selected this cell and this cell, and then again right clicked, and I can delete the contents or simply clear the contents, as in here. Again, I'll do a Control Z because I don't want this action to happen. So now we'll talk about what are the different types of data types that an Excel sheet can use. As you can see over here, this is a text format. This is a number. So a number can also be a float number like this. Okay. And it can be integers, even signed integers, for example, -33. And then formulas. So Excel cells can also contain formula. So over here, if I'll do equals to and then type sum and then select this cell, then control select this cell, and then press control and then again select this cell with the left click of the mouse and then press enter. So this is the formula. and the result is being displayed over here. Similarly, if I did an equals, I typed in product and then selected the cell, the cell, the cell, and then pressed enter, this is the product. So you can have numbers, formulas, and text as your content in these Excel cells. Also, you can have many more worksheets. So you can just click on this tab and work on different sheets, as you can see from over here. In Excel, there's a powerful feature known as Autofill. So if it detects a pattern, it completes the rest of the series for you. For example, if I'll type here January and here I'll type February, and if I'll select both these cells, and if I'll drag this over here like this and make a range of cells, so it will complete the rest of the pattern for me. As you can see, it has rightly printed March, April, May, June as my series. Also, if you will type Sunday and Monday and do a similar thing like drag the range of these cells, it will complete the pattern for you. Now let's move on to some shortcuts in Excel which will be handy for you while you're navigating. So Control plus Home goes to the top left cell. So let me place this cursor over on this cell and then try out Control and Home. So as you can see, it went up to this A1 cell over here, that is the top left cell. Now let this cursor remain over here and I'll press Control and End key. And we'll see so as you can see, it went up to this bottom right cell over here. Now Control plus P lets you print this workbook. So I'll just do it and you can see a print option is coming over here. Control and U lets you underline the text. So I'll select this text and press Control U. So you can see it underlines the text. Control C and Control V just perform this copy paste thing. So I'll just do Control C and I'll place the contents of this cell over here with Control V. Now Control W closes the workbook, so I'll try it out at the end. So Control Z undoes my action. So if I'll just do a Control Z, you can see it undid my action of pasting. Now let's try Control and W and this workbook will be closed. So you can save it and it will be closed. So this is all. Thank you for watching.